It is my privilege to introduce our superintendent of schools. You may not know this, but he was also the supervisor of elections, and he's worked for the past two governors, Governor Christ and Governor Scott, as the Secretary of State. So let me introduce to you our superintendent of schools, Mr. Kurt Browning.
Good morning, students. Good morning. I am thrilled to be at Wakeman Middle School this morning. I'm going to try to get this where you can hear me okay. Everybody hear me okay? Yes! Let me tell you a little bit about me. I was born in Dade City. Everybody know where Dade City is? Everybody heard of Dade City? So I live here. This is where I was born. This is where I was raised. This is where I went to school. I went to school in Pasco County. And so this is my community. This is my home. This is where I raised my family. I have two boys, two grown boys. They are 28 and 26 now. They are both Pasco High School graduates. They went on to the University of Florida. Go Gators. Any Gator fans? Any Seminole fans? So we're connected to this community, and one of the things that I want to share with you today is a lot about choices that we make. From the time, probably, I'll say in middle school, we start making choices. We start making choices with our lives. And some of those choices are what I call small choices. Others are kind of medium-sized choices, and then the other ones are the really big choices. Now, big choices might be, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you've all given some thought, I think, to some of the things that you might want to be. Some might want to be doctors. Some might want to be lawyers. What else? Teachers. How many want to be teachers? Who? Meteorologists, engineers. Secretaries. Supermodel. Okay. So, listen up, guys. So my point being is that we start talking about the choices we make, and some of those big choices that you guys need to make, you need to start thinking about those choices now. As you just started middle school this year as 6th graders, and then you'll be going on to 7th and 8th grade, and when you leave here, you'll be going over to the high school, and that's when it really amps up, really ramps up with your course of study, preparing you for what you might want to do when you leave high school. So you need to understand that the choices you make today as 6th graders impact what you're going to do possibly for the rest of your life. So you need to think about what it is that you want to do. Now, I've always had this idea that I want to have fun. I have fun. Everything that I do, even as an adult, I love having fun. So when you start talking about career choices, think of something that you want to do for a very long time. You're going to go to school. You're going to go to college maybe. You may go to a straight career path. But whatever you want to do, you need to be able to have fun doing it. Life needs to be fun. Life's serious because there's choices that we make all the way around. Now, some of the other choices you might want to make are choices relating to the friends we keep. Or we might have some good friends and we might have some not so good friends. We also make choices about, what week is this? What week are we commemorating this week? Red Ribbon Week. That's correct. And the whole idea behind Red Ribbon Week is so that we have an awareness about the really harmful, bad things that are out there competing for our time. Drugs, alcohol. Let me just tell you, as an adult man, looking back at my life, and I look at the lives of my boys and the lives of a lot of other kids and adults that I've grown up with, that the choices that we make really affect our lives. And I know as 6th graders, oftentimes, and 7th and 8th graders for that matter, and 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, we don't really understand the impacts of those choices when we go to make those choices. You've heard the saying, just say no. How many of you have heard just say no? Show of hands. Sometimes we like to say that it's easy just to say no, but you need to intentionally, consciously say no. Just because your friends are doing things doesn't mean that you need to be doing those things. The friends that you keep, the things that you do, I found that oftentimes it's those little things that come up in life will change the course of your life. Let me give you an example. This isn't anything bad. This is just something that happened to me when I was a senior in high school. I went to apply to the University of Florida to go to school. And back in the day, we had to take a test, very similar to the FCAT, but not the FCAT. It was called the Florida 12th grade test. And you had to pass this Florida 12th grade test in order to get into college. I scored 0.6% too low to get into the University of Florida. Now, 0.6 is like that much, very small. But I did not score enough to get into the University of Florida. I was heartbroken, but my point is, had I gone off to the University of Florida, I would not have been elected to serve as supervisor of elections and served there for 26 years, nor would I have ever had the opportunity to serve this state as Secretary of State, not for one governor, but 2 governors, nor would I have been standing here today as your superintendent of schools. It wouldn't have happened. Because if I had scored 0.6% higher on that test, I would have gone off to the University of Florida, left my home, got my education, wanted to go to law school, and I would have been practicing law someplace. So it's those little things in our lives that change the course of our lives. Sometimes we think the little things in our lives just are little things in our lives. But you need to think about the choices that you make, the friends that you keep. You need to do the right thing. And oftentimes doing the right thing takes courage. Is it always easy to make the right decision? No, it is not. It is not. Your moms and dads, your grandparents, they love you. They want the very best for you. The teachers in this room, the teachers not in this room, the teachers are still in the classrooms with 7th and 8th graders. They love you, they care for you, and they want the very best for you. They really do. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it when they give you packets of work that you've got to get done, but that's school. That's school. But you need to understand that the choices that we make affect and impact our lives. One of the things that as superintendent that I found, that I've been superintendent for about 1 year now, and I found that being superintendent of a district this size is an awfully big job. When you have almost 68,000 students in your district, 68,000 of them, 84 schools, there's about 10,000 employees in this district. Those are big, big numbers. That you hear about things that go on in our schools. And I will tell you, it really breaks my heart when I hear stories about things that have happened to some of our students. Some of the things that happened to our students not because of something they did, but because of something someone else did. Sometimes things that happen to our students happen because the student themselves instigated or initiated something that caused harm to that student. The important thing, we go at school board meetings, we actually have to deal with students that do some things that are bad enough, if you will, to tell them they can't come to school anymore. Now, you think that's a good deal, not coming to school. But let me tell you, when you don't come to school, you don't get an education. And when you don't get an education, your options on what you're going to do later in life, they're pretty slim. Very, very few. I cannot listen to an old gray-haired man. Listen to me. Stay in school. Do the very best you can. I've always told my two boys, I said, you know, and this isn't not in a we're better than they are sense, but you've got to be better. You've got to run harder. You've got to work harder than those students that you go to school with. Because you're competing for jobs. You're competing to be the best. And that's what you need to do. We have great students in this district. But those kids that come before the school board, those students that come before the school board that say, you can't come to our schools anymore, their options are limited. Very, very limited. So make good choices. And it starts with your attitude about school and your friends and activities that you want to take part in. Stay away from drugs. Stay away from drugs. Nothing good, not one thing good comes from drugs. Alcohol. Stay away from it. I've seen and I've heard too many incidences where older kids have gotten involved with alcohol. And worse yet, they've got behind the wheel of a car. Nothing good comes from alcohol. So it's up to you. It truly is up to you. It's your choices. The choices that you make. And I sound like a broken record, but you have to listen to me. Even today, you made a choice about what you're going to wear. I love the outfits today. I love the outfits. The glasses with the tape, that's perfect. But you made a choice today. What am I going to wear? Other choice, what do I have for breakfast? Other choices about what am I going to do after school? Who am I going to hang with? Am I going to do my homework? It's all about choices. And as you start going through middle school, you're going to have more and more and more opportunities to make more choices, bigger choices. Let me talk one other thing, and then I'd like to get some questions from you if you have any questions for the superintendent, okay? Nice questions. Nice questions. You've heard a lot about, if it's all right, talk about bullying. You ever heard about bullying? Bullying a good thing? No, it is not. You know, we all like to be respected, don't we? You know what respected means? We like to be treated fairly. We like to be treated nicely, politely. We like to be respected. And it's so important that sometimes that some of the things that we say to our friends, some of the things that we do to our friends are not very nice. They're unkind. And that's a choice we make. We make the choice whether or not we're going to be mean to someone or whether we're going to be nice to someone. Let me just beg you, as someone that's on the other side of middle school and high school, is to make good choices. Be nice to one another. Say kind things to people. Because it's, again, that choice, that one thing that you say to someone that then starts spiraling out of control, you didn't mean anything by it. You were just kidding. But then the problem with it is the person that you said it to didn't think you were kidding. So guard your words, guard your actions, guard your thoughts. Make great choices. Choices, choices, choices. You will be making choices for the rest of your life. Big choices, medium choices, small choices. But every choice is important. Okay? Any questions for the superintendent? Yes, sir.
Were you ever bullied?
Was I ever bullied? Well, I don't know if I was or not. When I was going to school, we just got into fights. But it was over with. Now, I'm not advocating fights, guys. Yeah, Corporal Brantley is now taking a deep breath. I'm not saying that you go out and fight. Please, that is unacceptable behavior. And that's what I said that bullying is. Bullying, whether it's fighting, constant picking, unkind words, is just unacceptable behavior. Particularly as a student of Thomas E. Waitman Middle School. That's just unacceptable behavior. That's an unacceptable behavior at any of our schools. Even in our homes, that's unacceptable behavior. So I can't say I was bullied, but we're a lot more sensitive to it today. And so we need to guard our words, guard our thoughts, guard our actions as we deal with our friends. Friends are friends. Friends aren't friends if you beat them up and say unkind things to them. You don't say unkind things to friends. Other questions? Yes, ma'am. In the back. Sorry.
Well, like, would you use defense if someone used physical bullying for you?
Would you defend yourself if somebody bullied you?
Physical bullying, verbal bullying. Okay. Would I be defensive? Would I defend myself?
Yeah.
Now this makes no sense to a lot of people. But what I have always done, what I have always told our boys, walk away from it. Listen to me. Walk away from it. Go find the nearest teacher. Go find your principal. Go find your SRO. Go find an adult. Let me just use one word. What did I tell you earlier? It takes courage to walk away. It doesn't take courage to swing a fist. None. I know, guys, I was in middle school once. Maybe more than once. Listen, it's not macho to walk away from a fight. But let me tell you, in our schools, at Thomas E. Waitman Middle School, you need to walk away and you go find an adult. You tell the adult what's going on. Let the adult intervene and take care of the situation. Because when you start throwing punches, then not only is the person that started in trouble, but you're in trouble. That's one of those choices that we make. That's a choice. When you get in a situation like that, you have to think very quickly. Do I want to slug back or do I want to walk away? Students, listen to me. Walk away. Find an adult. Find an adult. That's not the answer you wanted, is it?
Okay, like, what if you're walking away, but then they still want to fight right behind your back?
She was telling me when I went over, and I said, that was a really good question. And she said, because that's one of the hardest things to do. And I said, you're right. If you think about the courage that he just pointed out, it takes more courage to walk away than to do the easy out.
There was a question, yes sir. This young man over here.
What if, like, you were going to walk away?
Stand up. Stand up.
What if you were going to walk away, but then they punched you and you got so mad that you couldn't walk away and you had to?
Okay. I don't think, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I will tell you what I've told my boys, and that is you walk away. Walk away. If they come after you, don't walk but run. Run to an adult. Run to an adult. I would much rather be called a chicken than get thrown out of school. Because somebody's going to get thrown out of school or suspended, punished, disciplined. And listen, our job is not to discipline students. Our job is to provide a safe environment for each and every one of you so that your teachers have a safe environment to teach you and prepare you for college, career, and life. Those three things. So we don't need to get sidetracked on all the courtyard drama. Okay? Just say no. Just walk away. It takes, I'll just say this is my opinion, you are more of a man to walk away than you are to stand there and fight. That's not what our culture tells us. But I will tell you, as students in our schools, you need to exercise incredibly strong judgment and walk away. Find an adult. Find an adult and let them know so that they can deal with the situation. All right? Yes, sir, right here. Stand up, Katie.
Did you guys have Ribbon Week at your school? What did you guys do?
You know, Red Ribbon Week was not around when I was in school. It started, I think, in 79? 85. I graduated a little bit earlier than 85. But no, we did not have that. As a matter of fact, we didn't talk a lot about drugs when we were in school. Were they prevalent? Yes, they were. But we did not talk. I graduated in the 70s. All right? 1976 from Pasco High School. There wasn't the emphasis, and it wasn't that our teachers and our schools didn't care about drug use or drug abuse, but the fact is that it just wasn't something that we talked about. The reason I think that we talk about it now is because we see what drugs and alcohol are doing to students. We see what drugs and alcohol are doing to families. We see what drugs and alcohol are doing to schools. We're seeing that drugs and alcohol hold no hope, no future, and it will ruin your lives. And so we need to educate. That's what we're in the business of doing in this school district and all across the state and all across the United States, is educating you, not just about reading, writing, and arithmetic, but how to deal with life. Life can be hard. Life can be tough. But what does it go back to? It goes back to the choices that we make. And you, as 6th grade students at Thomas E. Wayman Middle School, being prepared to make the right choices, being equipped to make the right choices. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry? I can't hear. You can. Do I like her? What do you mean, do I like where I came from? Dade City. Dade City? I love Dade City. Oh yeah. You a Dade City girl? Are you a Dade City girl? Where'd you go to elementary school? Lacucci. Good school. It's a great school. That girl likes me. No. Yeah, matter of fact, I have brothers that went here. Matter of fact, my mom will be 80, she'll kill me. This is closed circuit, isn't it? 87 years old in December. She graduated from Pasco High School. She graduated when the world was black and white. Yeah. You have a question right here, sir? Right? Yeah, blue shirt, yeah. What kind of friends did I have? What kind of friends did I have? I had friends that we did everything together. We grew up together. Matter of fact, my best friend I went to school with, we actually live next door to one another today. We talk to one another, we fish together, we hunt together, we do all kinds of things together. But we had fun. We'd go out fishing when we were kids. I know a lot of kids don't go out and go fishing anymore, but you ought to try it. It's a ball. But a lot of friends. We had friends that we just talked to and we had fun. We just did fun things. Yeah. In the very back in the red coat. Yeah, right. That's you. Stand up. I'm sorry. Can't you speak up? Yes. Recently in Polk County, there was a young student that actually committed suicide because of bullying. You think bullying is serious? Yes. It's very serious. It is very serious. And oftentimes, and some of that may have been intentional, we don't know, but some of it may have just been what they started out as playful comments that turned into mean-spirited comments. And, you know, we all come from different places, and some of us cope with things differently than other folks, other kids. You don't know what's going on in someone else's home. There might be issues between mom and dad. There might be issues with keeping the lights on. There might be issues with not having food on the table. And so we come to school and we are mean to somebody, and next thing you know, it doesn't add up to a good deal. So, yes, ma'am.
When you were younger, were the choices that were made at your school like bad, that you want to have red ribbon week? I can't say it.
Were some of the choices that we had at school, would Red Ribbon Week have helped? I think looking back, let me tell you this story. Yes, it would have. You know, I told you a story about me going to the University of Florida?
No.
All right, well, I didn't go to the University of Florida because I couldn't get into the University of Florida back then. But all my friends, and I call friends, that ended up going to the University of Florida, they ended up coming home after the first semester. Why? Because they went up there and they partied. They flunked out of the University of Florida. Now, we might chuckle about that, but there's nothing serious about flunking out of the University of Florida, FSU, USF, any school. Education is expensive, very expensive, but it's also preparing you for what you're going to do. So if we had had programs like Red Ribbon Week to draw attention or awareness to drugs and alcohol, I think a lot of our friends probably would have been a lot more successful than had they been. How are we doing on time? One more question? Yes, sir, on the blue shirt.
Is your job easy or hard?
Is my job easy or hard? I have had, great question. In my adult life, I've had 3 major jobs. I've been the supervisor of elections for 26 years. I've been the Secretary of State for 5 years, and I've been superintendent of schools for 1 year. I have never, ever worked as hard in all my life as I have the last year. This is the hardest job that I have ever had, but I'm going to tell you something. It is the best job I've ever had. And the reason being, you guys. You guys. Thank you for letting me be here this morning. Have a great, study hard and make good choices.